My family life, there was a lot of upheaval. I would say that it was pretty dysfunctional. My father was an alcoholic and abandoned the family, and it was very, very rough growing up in that environment.
I was raised Catholic. I have 5 older brothers and then myself. My parents are married, remain married, so it was a pretty normal upbringing. Well, we grew up 9 houses away from each other in Parma, Ohio. So we've always known each other, but we started dating 8th grade and 9th grade. Engaged, married February of 1986. 4 boys. The oldest one is Jack. He was born February of 1994. Then Jacob, he was born February of 1996. Jared was born January of 1999, and then Jordan was born March of 2001.
Good job. I wanted to be a musician. Of course, originally I was in all types of AP classes in school. I was doing really well in school and was thinking about becoming a doctor, but nobody would go to a Dr. Butcher. So my dad at that point left again. He was in and out of my life over and over again, and he left again. And so I rebelled, and that's when I dug my heels in and became interested in music. I would practice 8 hours a day, got some of the best private teachers that money could buy. And then I went to the University of Akron where I got my degree in music, and Mary would go with me. We'd drive together. She was studying zoology there. And got to play some really interesting things. I've got to play with the Ohio Ballet, the Cleveland Chamber Orchestra, many, very good performing opportunities. And I had my own band too, and we'd played, the night scene. I had been drinking pretty much every day from age 13 to age 27, and I don't really know why she stayed with me. It's very puzzling to me. But we did continue to date, and I proposed to her, and she declined many times because of my drinking, and eventually you did accept.
Yeah. I knew he was actively drinking. He would have periods of sobriety. Well, I thought he was sober for long periods of time, but I think he just kept it hidden from me. He was good at that. But I married him thinking that we would have this blissful marriage and he would be fine and no reason to drink. So I thought getting married was going to cure his drinking.
I would drink whatever I could get my hands on. I would drink Listerine, rubbing alcohol, anything to get that feeling started. And I couldn't even hold things in my hand. I was shaking so much. And so eventually I hit my bottom, and I drug myself to an AA meeting. I didn't want to lose her. I didn't want to lose my job. So I went to my first AA meeting. I'll never forget that. Dragging myself in there, and I just sat down. I sat down next to this old man because I didn't want to sit next to any of the younger people or the people with tattoos, and I figured he'd be safe. So I sat next to him, and I'm shaking, and he just turns and looks at me, and the first thing anybody said to me in AA was he looked right at me and he said, "You look like crap." Then the other thing he told me was if I didn't get on my knees that night and pray, that I was going to die. That's what he told me, and so I did.
Well, before we were married, I had gone to some Al-Anon meetings, which is like the counterpart to AA. It's for families of addicts. So I had gone and got some literature, and when I reached my breaking point with Jack, I pulled out that literature and started reading it, and God really started speaking into me that I needed to stop trying to control, stop the screaming, yelling, accusing, and just surrender to God and let Him take control of the situation. So that was a big turning point for me. It was very difficult. It was a day-by-day, moment-by-moment. Some days I failed miserably at it, but on days when I was silent and let God do the speaking, I found moments of peace and comfort in that.
being in the profession I was in, the music business, really lended itself to being out late at night and being in those atmospheres. And when I came into AA, that's one of the things that my sponsor, basically forced me to do, was to change people, places, and things. And I had to give up my whole career, basically, in order to get healthy.
A neighbor moved in behind us, and I had been starting to seek. I was reading Bibles, listening to things on the radio, just very curious, because I've been raised Catholic, and I was questioning that. So we attended a service on a Sunday morning, and that was it. We just felt like this was home. Jack fell in love with the worshiping, and we just jumped in with both feet.
We'd listen to the message and hear the music being played, and I'd have to push back the tears every time, and I don't even know why. I thought about the music end of it, being a musician, and I hadn't played at that point for about 20 years, believe it or not, since I had played. And I signed up to do parking lot duty, but then somebody noticed my name on there and knew I was a musician, so I got called into the music director's office and asked if I could start right away that Sunday. And it was like I'd done all that training and everything, and I had to give it all up, and then God gave it all back. It was just unbelievable.
Jack got on board with the worship team, and I went into children's ministry, and couldn't get enough. I was in women's Bible study, everything I could get my hands on. Well, I see when we were first married, just the loneliness and the isolation. I mean, I didn't share with anyone. I had no women friends. I made the excuse, well, I was raised with all boys. Well, I don't know anything about chatting with women. And now through just God growing me and softening my heart and taking away my pride, I have so many women friends, and so I know I can pick up the phone or go visit, go have coffee with somebody at any time, and I don't have to lie. I don't have to worry about what they're thinking of me. I just know that, I am safe in who I am. Christ loves me, and He's using me and using other women to speak to me and grow me and encourage me.
Yeah, I was a deacon at the church. Then I was asked to be an elder, which I've since rolled off, being an elder, so I'm not an elder now, but I was. And been playing on the worship team the whole time, and every time I show up for rehearsal or Sunday morning, I'm just amazed, because I am just a falling down drunk. I seriously am. And it's just Jesus working through the church and showing me that, He loves me. We're the Butchers.
And this is our redemption story.